This episode of the Better To podcast is brought to you by Kitty Mystic and DM Needham, author of the Better To Burnout series, which includes her latest releases of Fairy Tales and I Love You and Is Love Just Another High. Hi, gang. Donna from the Better To podcast here. If you've listened to my show, you know that it always sounds great. That's thanks to the guys at Third Ear Audio Productions. Third Ear Audio helps podcasters, broadcasters, musicians, and business owners get their important messages out to their audience. Rich and the Third Ear Audio team are easy to work with. They're efficient in understanding that your message is important to you. With quick turnaround and a true caring of your needs, Third Ear Audio is your go-to for any audio message. Reach out to Third Ear Audio at 312-388-5596. Rich and his team will deliver for you. That's 312-388-5596, or you can email them at info@thirdearaudio.com or visit them on the web at www.thirdearaudio.com. Hi, gang. Welcome to the Better To podcast. I'm your host, Donna, or DM Needham, however you prefer to call me. Anyway, today's guest is a singer who is only a mere 16 years old, and he has a huge following, and his name is Malachi Gagnon. Malachi is he has a country feel to him, but he has latest singles coming out, have more of a singer-songwriter, kind of a poppy folk vibe. So check out his music and check out our podcast. Hi, Malachi. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So I'm going to dive deep right in because you're 16 and that's pretty impressive to have started a career. You have representation and you have a lot of followers. So how overwhelming is this for you to be at this position in your career already?
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's really a blessing. It's really cool. I'm thankful for the influence that I do have on people because I'm young, so people kind of my age connect with me, and so it's really cool to be able to just use it. It's not too much of a weight, more it's a blessing. So.
Awesome. So you were 12 years old when you did a talent show in your family's living room. Were you already working with the church band at that point, or?
No.
Okay.
No, I had never sang before once ever in my life. I had just like singing in the shower and whatever. But I just decided, you know what, let's try it. Like, what else am I gonna do? So I grabbed like a little karaoke machine and I started singing "You Are the Reason" by Caleb Scott. And it was just like my dad was a little more confident than most people would be, but he was excited. And I was like, yeah, I can totally do this. And so, everyone around me was super supportive and they were just really into me singing and stuff. And I was loving it. And so, I went for it and I picked up a guitar. My birthday was in like a few weeks. So my dad got me an actual like real guitar, not a little plastic one. But I just started self-teaching myself and yeah, here we are. It's been really cool.
So before that, I mean, besides singing in the shower, did you have any, every kid has a dream of what I want to do when I grow up. Were you sitting there thinking, oh, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be an accountant, I'm going to be an astronaut, or am I going to be a singer?
I wanted to go into, let me figure out how to say this correctly, like detective work, just overall like investigations and stuff out in the field, and then forensics something, I always had like a heart for that stuff, and it's just that's obviously changed now, but before that's what I was thinking.
Well, Van Halen, David Lee Roth, lead singer Van Halen, when he retired from music for a bit, he went on to work on an ambulance for a while as an EMT. So don't give up that dream. You still may one day decide.
I could still wind up investigating crime scenes.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, because I used to work in insurance and I interviewed for an outside position. Mm-hmm. And usually when you're working in insurance and claims and stuff, you don't deal with the actual crime scene. Right. However, this one job as an outside adjuster, we'll give you a company car and you get to go to a possible murder scene because allegedly at this point, a janitor had killed somebody at a school. And they were just giving me into this example that you may be called at 3:00 in the morning to go out and look at the scene. And I'm just like, company car or not, I'm not there.
Like they're trying to entice you with the company cards. Like, hey, I
Yeah.
mean, you could look. Yeah.
Well, blood
Yeah,
and gore is not my thing.
that's intense.
Yeah. And I mean, I watch a lot of the CSI type things, and I think forensic
Hmm.
investigation is very interesting. So, as a kid to want to do that, I can see the interest because there's a lot of science based. Do you enjoy doing science when you're in
Yeah,
school?
I do. Yeah, it's like my favorite subject. That and history. I'm into
History.
history stuff, but I do well in science. I get it, and obviously when it's more like patterns and stuff, it's pretty easy to figure out. But yeah, I like doing my chemistry is what I'm in right now, but I love it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and when it comes to music, which a lot of people don't really think about, there's science and there's also math in it. Nobody really looks at that,
For
but there
sure.
is.
Yes, 100%.
So let's think about this for a second. So you get your guitar, and then how do you start building your following? Did you
I
just
just
start putting
started,
yourself?
yeah, I had like my different family members recording me in my living room doing covers of different songs. I can think the first song that I covered was Ain't Always a Cowboy by John Party. And I was just doing a bunch of country covers and a couple like, hit song stuff, just the usual, just covering songs, trying to build a following and people supported that. And it grew over, yeah, it's about 2 years. I grew my Instagram and I grew TikTok. And, that was really helpful because when I wanted to put out my own music, I already had a following. So I was able
Following.
to just jump into it and be like, guys, go check it out now. And so it was easy once that following was built to then promote my own stuff. But it was just constant filming and just doing my songs and learning more stuff so that I can put that out.
And that's actually what labels are looking for now is the
Mm.
artist who brings with them the followers.
Yeah, the virality is what they want
Hmm.
for sure.
Where back in the day, they that wasn't required as much.
No, yeah, yeah, it's more talent driven.
Right.
But yeah,
But I mean, as long as you got people that like you and they're willing
yeah.
to see you for your talent, then that's what's important.
Hmm.
So, how does this all affect your school?
So I think the funny thing is everyone asks that, but overall, other than just time, it doesn't really, I would much rather obviously make music than do homework. However, other than that, it doesn't really affect it too much. I mean, I've missed a little bit of school for recording, but that's kind of like the deal that I have is like, I can do it, but I have to make sure that I keep up with school and like, I have to make up that work. And so, it's not too bad as long as I stay caught up and like efficient in that.
Do you plan on going to college, or do you plan on just going into music and that's
I,
it?
I do plan on going to college. I graduate in 2 years, so I'm a junior right now. But I'm planning on, I think Liberty in Virginia would be kind of like the place.
One of my prior guests, Ricky Duran, he actually went to Berkeley to study the music business
Mm,
basically, and he was on The Voice, and he had talked about the fact that when he was on The Voice, Blake Shelton basically said he had a leg up because he did study the music business because he knew all the ins and outs. And as someone of your age and still having college, it's like I understand you have all the forensic background, but definitely take some business classes just so you are aware that no
that's
shyster is coming to take something from you.
yeah, that's what I'm planning on going. It's more or less just to live a normal childhood kind of thing in like teenage years into college. I want to have that experience and everyone around me is encouraging me like, hey, do it because you can. Like you should go experience that and live life a little bit instead of just grinding music. It's like you should live your life. And so I trust the people that have said that. And I'm like, that's the plan right now. Things change. 2 years is a long time. Or whoa, wait, no, it's a year now.
I was gonna say you're a
It's a
junior, and
year
I'm like,
now.
you're gonna take 2 years to graduate, but I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything.
No, no, it's uh-oh.
Surprise.
Might have to start stepping it up here in the planning. But yeah. So a year. Yeah, things change though. Still, even in a year. But the plan right now is to, go for business.
Well,
And
and
my
here's the
dad is
thing.
in,
Go ahead.
yeah, my dad's in construction. And so, obviously music doesn't work. That's kind of the family trade. So I'll probably step into that. So I want to go for architecture as well.
Well, see, those are all good things to have. And
Mhm.
yes, I was wanting to be a bassist when I was in high school, and I did pursue music for a bit. But I remember my mother always telling me, you need something to fall back on. And so, that's the whole thing. You're planning to do that. But I was going to say, the other thing about you going to college is that offers you more experience, life experience, because then you have more inspiration for songs.
There you go. You get it. You get it.
Yeah. Because I mean,
Yeah.
if you just stay in the bubble of the music industry, you're missing the normal experience of being a teenager. You're missing the experience of college. You're missing the experience of relationships, whether that be romantic
Hmm.
or non romantic. And so that all gives you influence as a writer, as a creative person.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
So, who are your biggest influences when it comes to your music?
So what really got me into it are like people, I'd say like Shawn Mendes is someone who kind of inspired me in the beginning, and Morgan Wallen is a country artist. Recently I've kind of pulled away from the country genre, and so my next stuff is a little more singer-songwriter, and it kind of feels like more me and a little less forced, which I'm really excited for, by the way. I'm really excited to jump into this. And so I've taken inspiration recently from people like Noah Khan is he's really big right now, kind of like the guy right now. But I've he's kind of inspired me in that sense of kind of like doing your own thing and being like fully you and not trying to force anything. And then stylistically, artists like the Lumineers have kind of like driven that, the feeling of it. And it's kind of just it's fun. That's what I think music should be is just fun. And I mean, I think it should be fun and emotions and real and you. And so as long as I keep those at the core of it, as long as no matter what genre I'm doing or, what I'm writing about, it has a piece of me in it, I think that's where I'll stick.
Well, and that's what matters. If you're not comfortable with what you're doing, if somebody wants to
Mm,
create this image of you and it's not you at all, sure, you can sell it, but at the end of the day, it's going to start eating at you that you're not being authentic to yourself.
yeah, for sure. So I'm excited to May 31st, my next song, Think About Me, releases. And I'm really excited because it's like the first of this new kind of chapter, my 10th single, and I have 4 songs already lined up and ready to go out to the world. That all kind of follow that feeling, that theme of kind of just real and like writing it in my bedroom and just chilling.
Mm-hmm. And that's important. Like I said, if you're authentic to yourself, your creativity is going to come easier too. If you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
force something that I want it to be this narrative, I mean, people, I think when they sit down to write a song, most people think that when you sit down to write a song, it just comes to you like that. It's easy. No, I'm a writer. I mean, I write books, and I can tell you right now, no, it's not. And I know you understand that
It's
it's not.
not. Yeah, for
Mm-mm.
sure.
There are the days
Yeah,
where
it's
it comes. Go ahead.
you can go ahead.
I was just going to say there are days when it flows just like water and you can write something in 10, 15 minutes. And then there's other days where you stare at your computer or your paper and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, well, like what do I do here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's become a process for me. Um, Sometimes I'll just have something and I'm like, yes. But if I don't, I kind of sit in it in I guess my feelings, but I feel like that's kind of a weird way of saying it. But I kind of sit there and I think about it and think like find the topic, find the melodies and stuff. And I have a process now that works for me. And I think that's important is to just like even if it's not a true story, even if it's like characters or a false story. I mean, you get it. Like writing
Yeah.
a movie,
Yeah.
it's not these real characters, but you can still put yourself into them, and you can still feel that emotion.
Right.
So I think that's kind of where I like to thrive. And when I'm not writing like fully about myself, I build like a story in a world where I can kind of project pieces of myself into people and put myself into situations.
Well, it's much easier to do that, to deal with your emotions sometimes when they're really heady, to take yourself
Mm,
out of it, to actually see the bigger picture of it. And I think that's where people get lost. It's like when even most writers, they put a little bit of their self, whether it's being a song or a book, they put a little
mm,
bit of themselves in there in each character because they're creating this person in the narrative.
100%. Yeah.
So, what are you looking forward to over the summer? Are you touring the summer?
I'm planning a couple shows. I'm going to start doing more, smaller things, bars, coffee shops around here. I live in New Hampshire, so there's not much, but you can find places anywhere that you can go sit and play, and people love to just listen to live music. So just going out, getting experience, getting my face out there as much as it's a face for radio. It's you got to get it out there anyways. And so just doing stuff like that. And then I am planning with my team some shows for summer and within like the next year or so to do a couple bigger shows rather than just, sitting in a bar.
What's the largest crowd you've played for?
I had 250 people at my first show, and that was horrifying because you walk out on stage and it's like, I couldn't even sing. I was singing a couple cover songs because at the time I didn't have enough songs to do my own set. So I had some cover songs. So it was a Kane Brown song. And I was like, I had like this big, like dumb smile on my face. I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it because I hadn't seen any of the crowd at the time. And so I walk out like through the curtains. And I'm like, they're all here to see me. And so I'm like freaking out. I have like, deer in headlights. And then I'm able to find my footing and sing. But I mean, I couldn't believe it. And it's weird. It's surreal to think like they're here to see me. Like they're here to see me and sing with me and sing the songs that I wrote. And so like when I sang my first single, Craving Me, everyone was singing it back to me. I'm like, what? It's just like surreal. It's because it's like, I just wrote this in my room. So like people are singing this. It's weird and crazy.
One of some musicians that I've known during my lifetime have talked about
Mhm.
the best way to deal with things like that is to find one or two or three people in the audience and focus on them. If you focus on them, it's not so overwhelming. It's like you're playing for those three people or four people. And granted, you're still trying to emulate that but your mind, you've tricked your mind that it's like, I'm only playing for these couple of people. Everything else is just kind of a blur.
That makes sense. I like that.
Yeah. So it's not
Yeah,
so
it is. It
overwhelming.
really is. I mean, past the probably like first three lines of people, you can't see anything except silhouettes of people,
Mhm.
and you're like, whoa, like they're not there, but they're there, and so
Yeah,
it's a weird like surreal feeling.
I can imagine. I mean, I played a talent show or two, and it was just kind of like, yeah, I remember the first time I played it, I just sat there playing bass, going, okay, they're here. I'm just going to focus on playing. And I screwed up one note in an arpeggio. My bandmates didn't know I screwed up. I knew I screwed up. And I chastised myself afterwards, but it was just like, I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing? So I get that
Yeah, that's one of the
firsthand.
harder things is like, yeah, it's one of the harder things to deal with is like messing up and no one knows. But like
Mhm.
in your head, everybody knows. And so it's like, oh no, like I look so bad up here. Like I look like so unprofessional. And so like when I messed up like a lyric or two in one song and I'm like, no, but no one noticed. And I was like, oh, we're good. So I think that's kind of hard to deal with is like remembering that they're not really like hawking you. Like you don't have to like be perfect either. So
The only time is if something completely screws up, because I did watch a gentleman, some reason his bass screwed up where he was playing Tinley Park and the song comes to a grinding halt and the audience just starts booing. And so he walked off, tried
that's
to get straight, and came back. And they were, he started to play again, and it screwed up again. And yeah, they just booed some more, and it was painful.
that's
It was
sad.
painful.
Yeah.
So he stepped off for a while, and the guitarist and the singer just took over. But it was just kind of like felt bad for him because they were like
Yeah.
villainous. I mean, they were like getting ready to get an angry mob going. It's like, dude, it's just a song. You
It's a
know,
base.
everybody's got, everybody has an off day. What would you do if
Oh
did
yeah.
something wrong at your job? And I think that's where people don't really, when you're on that stage, you're on that pedestal. So they expect, even though they don't always expect perfection, especially you starting out. But as you get further into the game, I mean, I just watched the special with Bon Jovi, the documentary, and I'm noticing that he's got a teleprompter there in front on the floor. So he doesn't mess the lyrics up. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
that's interesting. But I mean, when you think
It's
about how
funny
many
because it's like,
hits, go ahead. Go ahead.
it's funny because I think I noticed a couple people that I've seen in concert do that too. I think it was Justin Bieber had one, and I'm thinking that makes sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
as much as it's kind of weird, like come on, dude, you're a professional. Like, but even having done it for that long, I mean, you're gonna mess up. Things happen,
Oh, yeah.
and so it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I was just thinking of like things in front of you.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing. Sometimes, even though you know something, if you're wrapped up by stress, if something has happened in the audience and distracted you, or you're distracted by something going on in your personal life, you're not going to necessarily remember those words.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're a human being. So you're allowed to have those moments of imperfection.
Yeah,
So, keep embracing the fact that you don't have to be perfect, because
yeah,
as long as you do that, you don't have to suffer from imposter syndrome.
hmm that's true.
And
Yeah,
that's a hard thing to deal with.
yeah.
I'm sure you've had that experience slightly already, that you kind of feel some of this is a fluke, huh?
Uh, oh, sometimes you like me, but yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, it's
hmm
it's part of the growing process. So you mentioned Justin Bieber, and that kind of came to mind because of your age, and no offense to be, but you are 16, and he started
Yeah,
out really young. So you could kind of look at his career and look at your own career and see some of the mistakes he's made and some of the successes he's had, and kind of work through that for yourself, I would think.
yeah. I do I surrounded myself with people who are much older than me, much wiser than me, and all for me, and like have the best intents for me. So my manager, Matt, is like he's a great guy, and I trust him like fully. And I've grown a relationship with him to where I can trust him, and I know I can. And so I surround myself with people who can like advise me against, certain decisions that could harm me in the long run or even quickly. So yes, I know what you mean. And I have looked at other younger artists and how their lives have, played out. And I pull, lessons from that. And I recognize how they did good things and how they made some mistakes in their life that, wound up coming back to them.
And that's important that you can see that going in, because a lot of people, when they get into the music industry, they just like, oh, well, I'm going to be big, I'm going to have hits, it's going to be about money. They don't look at the practicality of, it's a machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a machine. You have to worry about your image, you have to worry about all these other little things, and the perception of how people see you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. There's two sides to that. And a lot of people like don't care what people think of you. It's like, yeah, that's easier said than done. But, it is important to not worry about what people think about you as long as you, love yourself and if you are you, the people that love you for who you are important. And the people who don't like you for who you are can, get away because it's not, if they don't like, that's who you are. It's not their issue if you're not what they want you to be.
Well,
So
and
I think
that's the
there are,
bit. Go
yeah,
ahead.
there are two sides to like caring what people think. And when it's the important people, of course, that's different. So if they think something's like a major issue, then, I would look into that. But I know what you mean by the image.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the thing is also, you have to understand and be comfortable enough with yourself, because yeah, there are going to be haters out there just because you, I mean, there's people on the internet, and was not me personally as an author, but somebody gave this author a negative review, a 1-star review, because the book wasn't in the right genre. They don't read that genre. They didn't read the book, but they gave her a 1-star review because it wasn't the genre they liked.
People find
Exactly.
anything to hate about, and it's going to happen in every industry, everything. It's just going to happen, especially with the internet now. Everyone can say anything they want and be heard. And then they, become this like big deal, but even when it's not, and it's nothing. And
Have you,
so go ahead.
but I was, have you run across people at school that are, I don't want to, I know you have the supporters, of course, but are there anybody that's been problematic and maybe slightly jealous of you being able to do what you do?
No, I honestly, no, not at the schools that I've been to. Everyone's very, they respect me for what I've done. And it's not like I, just got here. I do work hard, it
Hmm.
shows and people recognize that. So it is people respect me more than anything. Even if they don't like the things that I do, like the music that I make, they still are very respectful and recognize that, it's what I do. And it's cool because I do have a lot of support from my school, and I have some amazing friends who are they really are supportive. And so
That's
it's really
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. Because I mean, having that support and not having the detractors in the community around you on a regular basis is a very good thing.
Yes.
Because yeah, as you go on, you will have detractors and you have to be
Hmm.
secure enough with yourself.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So you have a new single that you have another one coming out, but what was the motivation for No Thanks to You?
No Thanks to You is a song I wrote it in Nashville with some writers. His name is David Ray Stevens, Phil Mosley. I can't speak, and Brandon Hart. And we wrote it in their studio, and we recorded over there. It was kind of like just a group session, and it was really cool to experience that because I had never done it. All of the songs before that were written in my room or just in my living room, just hanging out
Mm-hmm.
on my guitar. And so when everyone's in that room and it's a different setting, and it's a lot of pressure. I'm pretty sure that was the last one we wrote, and we all got in on it. Everyone's throwing out ideas. It's different and it's a really cool experience. My favorite thing to do is write, but I really liked writing with other people because you get to see, their life experiences, and they were all much older than I am. So they've all had more experiences than I have. And so it's like they've lived and I haven't. And so it's cool to have like advisories and like, ideas from them. And so it was a really cool experience. It's kind of just about moving on, even though it wasn't easy, and it's kind of their fault that it wasn't easy. Like they didn't make it easy, but you're still good now. You're all better. But the person you were moving on from made it extremely difficult to do.
So was this some of your personal experience or was that all of their experience?
It was all of our experiences. I think we kind of pulled it's not a very like story driven. It's more or less like topical. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was kind of easy to like pull from everyone's experiences without getting too story driven with it.
So what is so you're gonna kind of because that was had a that had a it had a pop vibe to it initially, and then it kind of went into the country.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one you said is it's more pop than country, or
So
more singer songwriter.
yeah, it's more, I wouldn't say pop, I'd say folk, even though it's not like what people think of as folk. It's more like pop, folk pop. And, it's more singer-songwriter. It kind of just has a vibe to it. It's not really constrained
Right.
by the country genre at all. And it has more freedom in instruments and like what we can do with it and what we can write about. And so I think that's kind of like it's closer to who I am. And I'm from New England, and
Mm-hmm.
so I put like the home kind of like feeling to it. So
So
it's great. I'm really excited.
if your career were to take off, we're talking you get the big deal, you become the big star. Where would your career be based out of? Would it be based out of Los Angeles, New York? Or would you stay in New Hampshire?
I would hope to stay in New England. We do have Boston over there, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm 50 minutes from Boston, so it's a very easy drive, and lots happens there. So I would hope to stay close to home as much as possible. I've never been over to the West Coast. I've been to New York City, uh, I do my best to avoid it. I love the city, but I really do like being at home in, you know, trees. So it's just I feel like it's where I belong. It feels like home. So
Well, that's the thing. If you feel grounded and connected to where you're at, that's more important than trying to move to Nashville. I talked to
mm,
somebody who is in Australia, and she goes to Nashville every once in a while to work, and then she'll go back home because
that's nice. That
she's got a nice career over there already, but she's trying to break it in the States.
I
So,
like that. That's very nice to kind of stay where you are, but still get out there. That's a good way of doing it.
so out of the 10 singles that you have out, what is your favorite song that you've released so far?
Ooh. Let's spoil the release so far. Which one? All right. So my favorite is probably Haunt My Dreams. I think it has a nice just vibe to it. It's just very, very nice and smooth. It feels like the like fan favorite is Psychopath, and I understand a little bit why, but it's kind of like weird to me that that's the one that sticks with people is the kind of the one from when I was 14. Um, but it's kind of fun to like people bring it up. I'm like, oh, I did do that one. I did make Psychopath, and it has like a nice twist to it, I guess, in a way, is because I'm kind of talking about this girl like, oh, I miss her and I love her, but you're crazy, And
Yeah,
so I think it has like a fun, nice trope to it that I think people kind of latch on to. So I would assume that's why people like it.
I think there's also a lot of commonality because a lot of times we get involved in a relationship and we think, okay, this is the person, this person's great. And I mean, this can be a friendship. And then you start getting to know the person and you're like, oh, no, let me run
Yeah,
away.
exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I truly do get it. I've had some people like that it's like, mm-mm. So, do you have a particular person that, when you started learning guitar, was there a person that you were like, okay, this is the person I want to follow, or was it just a hodgepodge of people?
Um, what do you mean, like
A guitar hero.
stylistically?
Yeah,
Okay.
stylistically, a guitar hero.
Um, Not necessarily. I kind of did my own thing. I learned from, he kind of started teaching me once I had gotten like the basic chords, like, G, C, minor, D down. And my friend Walt, he's 40 now. He's probably, he's younger, obviously, when I started learning, but he's always been in my life and he's always been, musically inclined. And so he was all in for teaching me guitar. And so he's kind of like, I kind of took after him. And so I don't have any big guitar hero, but I do have, Walt as he's my guitar hero.
Dream venue to play.
What's it called? I know it. Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion for sure. It's, home state.
Yeah.
And then, big would be, Fenway is that's kind of a cool place to get to. That would be really cool. But I'd say, overall, for sure, the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion, because it's like, home state. It's where um, I saw, some of my first concerts. My first concert was at it's called the Casino Ballroom. It's in Hampton, New Hampshire, by Hampton Beach. It's like, 2000 cap, and it's like, it's so cool because it's like little stage, little
Mhm.
room, and everybody's packed in there. And so it's one of those cool venues because big artists play there. And so you have like everyone's trying to get in, everyone's trying to get tickets, everyone's trying to fight for the front and drinks. But it's always like everyone needs to get directed to the front. And so I think that's where I saw my first concert. So that's another cool one. So kind of like,
Hmm.
around here.
Could you ever imagine playing, singing the national anthem at Fenway?
No, good Lord, no, that'd be crazy. That'd be cool.
But see, that's always a possibility, especially if you're a hometown boy and or
Yeah.
hometown hero, and It's something that they pull on singers all the time.
That is
So
true.
don't get dismissive about it, because as you become larger, that's a high probability or possibility,
That's true.
and you might want to start practicing.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start practicing right now. The riff that I'll do at the end. Uh, can't do the same thing as everyone else, right? So,
No,
but yeah, no, that'd be really cool.
and it's like I said, it's a possibility. If you build a
Hmm.
following, you never know. Maybe your manager reaches out, and
I
although
see
just
what you're
don't let
doing, putting a good word.
putting a good word, getting, create it, manifest it, believe it, it will come. But don't get intimidated, because I'm
No, yeah,
sure, yeah, you thought 250 people were bad.
yeah, that'll be a moment.
Mhm. A moment that would be just breathe. That's all I can
Yeah.
say is just stand there, breathe, focus on what you're going to do, and that's it. Well, they always joke, imagine
Yeah.
everybody around you is in their underwear.
I I thought about it while I was performing once, and I'm like, that's a bad idea because now I'm laughing. Like, that's too funny to me. Like, because like it's a trope, So like in my head, I'm thinking about it too much, and then it's like now
Hmm.
I'm laughing about it. So,
And then you can't
but
focus on singing because you're having. But anyway, go ahead.
because yeah, exactly. You can't focus on singing because everyone's in their underwear now. Like, what? How did we get here?
Yeah, and that's not always a good thing. So, when you sing, is it just you and your guitar when you're doing these gigs, or do you have a band backing you?
For the first one I did, but it's usually just my guitar. I had a great band for my first show. Like they were really good, all people that I was close with, but they're all great musicians and great guys overall. But I hope to put together a band of people. But now the music is kind of like more unique and niche to find these instruments. And so I can only find one guy, and he lives in Clearwater, Florida, that plays this certain instrument because he did play on one of my songs, but no one else plays this instrument in the States. It's only like two maybe, and then they're all in Europe. It's called the oh no, I can't think of it. It's just this outlandish instrument, and it's something I put in a couple of my songs that I'd have to keep going, and I couldn't. I'd have to get him to do it. So I had this niche like couple instruments that I'd have to find people to play for, but I'd love to put together a band for performing because like a new revised like for the style.
And that's, once again, as you grow, you're going to have to.
Yeah, for sure.
No question about it. I mean, that's the one thing. It's like what we don't think about when we start building this career, whether it be novelist, singer, whatever, you have to have that support, because it's not always, and a support, what I mean for you would be your support band. You already have the other support all put together. Now it's time to get the band together.
Exactly.
And that's where it gets tricky, because it's not
Yeah,
only that, then you have your personalities. And granted, you don't have to have, there's some singer songwriters that end up putting a band together and that band is with them for the rest of their career. And then there's others that just hire players.
yeah,
But
yeah.
if you
I
go
mean,
ahead.
you got to tour with these guys, so
Hmm.
you have to be like compatible.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I know like Rick Springfield, which I know most likely you don't know who he is. You may not, but he's been around since the '70s, and he still has some of the same players in his band.
That's
So
cool. That's
yeah,
that's yeah.
and he's still touring now. So if you want a career, you want to
Mm,
be able to write songs with people that are going to be there with you for the long haul.
mm, for sure.
So you have prom next year. You don't have prom this year. Well, some
I
schools
do.
do.
So I
Okay.
did this year. I had it last
Okay.
night. Not last night, 2 nights ago. I had prom. Yeah.
Because I mean, back in the day, some schools had junior prom, some didn't. So that's why I
So
was
yeah, I go to a pretty small school, and so it was junior
junior.
senior prom. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. So you've
Yeah,
already done that.
I
I
did.
take
Yeah.
it. Do you have your license now too?
I do have my license, and that's a
Awesome.
weird thing to be able to drive around and do whatever. But it's cool. I like driving. I got a Jeep. I love my Jeep.
Nice, nice. And I mean, that's one of those things that's like you have all these milestones that you're hitting,
Mm,
and congratulations. And I'm sorry
thank you.
to, but those are all milestones. And as you said, you thought you were graduating in 2 years, but it's one.
It's coming close, and I completely forgot. I mean, I have, these people that, I've known forever hitting these other ones, like this girl that I've known since longer than I've known my own brother. So like 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. She's pregnant now. And it's like weird, like to think like she's not my age. She's not my age. I'm just
Yeah, I
saying
get it.
like,
No, no, no.
but like, yeah, it's just like weird to think like, oh, now this happens. Like people get married. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, I mean, my stepkids, when I met my stepkids, they were 4 and 6. The youngest one turns 40 next year. And I'm like, when did
Well,
that happen?
it's weird. It is weird. And I think, and maybe it's just because I'm old soul, but it's weird how time moves because like you get to like now, and I've been really busy recently, but like it moves fast. Like I graduate in a year, I'm like, what the heck? Like where did that go? I thought I just started high school, but
Everything seemed slow to me. And yes, I'm going back in time for me, but everything seemed pretty slow until my 10th grade year. Once I hit 10th grade, it was like everything sped up and I could never catch up. And it's still that
yeah,
way. It's still that way. So pay attention and enjoy every moment
mm,
because it'll be gone before you know it.
yeah,
And you won't be this young guy singing. You'll be, middle aged singing and making architect and making buildings.
heck yeah.
But that's not a bad life as long
No,
as,
yeah,
and that's the thing, you have to, as long as you're enjoying singing and as long as, because that's some things that people don't realize. It's like you go into singing because you like singing, but when it becomes really a chore, then you got to decide whether you want to keep doing it or walk away.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
But you got a whole road ahead of you.
yeah, I do.
So, mm, is there anything I haven't talked about that you would like to add?
Talked about it all. I think I talked about my next single, May 31st. I'm not sure when this will be out, but I think if
It may
it's
already
out
be
before
out. It
then,
may already
yeah,
be
yeah,
out. I mean, your song may already be out by the time this
yeah.
airs. So, what's the second one after that coming out?
It'll be in July. It's called Stay.
Okay.
My
And
next
what's that one
song.
about?
That one's kind of self-explanatory. I'm not gonna lie, but it's about just wanting to go back to like the past and that moment where it was like the best moment, and just say like stay in this moment, like don't don't leave me, stay here, like I want to stay a little longer, and kind of wanting to hold on to the past.
So, kind of just what we're talking about. It's like you want to stay in those
Hmm.
moments and treasure those moments.
Yeah, it's kind of like you have to realize that you know people move on, and you never ever get enough time with them. So this one's not about loss. It's more about like losing, just losing a relationship. But I mean, even then, you never get that time back, and you really always or never have enough time with somebody. So
Yeah. I mean, no matter how much time you think you have, you never know.
mm,
You never do
yeah,
know.
you do. You never know.
So, I will put all your links in the show notes. And I thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a lot of fun.
You might have heard my voice hosting the Better Two podcast, but did you know I'm also the mastermind behind the Better to Burnout book series? The stories unravel the lives of Nigel Hartigan, the groovy bassist of Sambuca Fedora, the stunning singer model Ava Richards, and the suave record executive singer Russell Langford. Love, romance, and drama run rampant as their lives tangle up. But brace yourself, folks, because not every tale has a happy ending. Snag your copy today from most online booksellers. So Malachi, only even though he's only 16, I think he understands the industry a little bit more than some people that are older. At 16, when I was thinking about being a musician, it was more about, oh, yes, fame, success, money, da, 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 da. And while I loved music and I wanted to be that badass bass player, I was not realistically looking at the potential. And I think that's where things have changed nowadays. I think the younger generation has more opportunity to understand what they're getting themselves into. And especially for him, he's got the right people around him. He has somebody that is willing to manage him and be honest about certain situations. So that is a benefit to him. And having family support as well as support from his school, those things help. Where when you, like when I wanted to do this, as I spoke on the podcast, yeah, my mom's like, well, you better have something to fall back on, which is true. Not gonna lie, it is a good thing. But my first bass guitar, I actually told her I borrowed it from somebody. I didn't. I bought it. But she didn't know that. And I think eventually she figured it out because the bass guitar never left. I had said it was my friend Jimmy's guitar because at one point I did borrow a bass from him. But when I got my own, once again, I told her it was Jimmy's. And she never said anything about it, never questioned me. And I still have the guitar to this day. But the fact is, me telling her that I wanted to be a bass player was not something that she was very happy about. She had her whole idea of who I should be and where I should go to school and da 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 da. And I think sometimes our parents have those expectations. But Malachi's parents seem to, especially his father, seems to support him quite a bit. And having parental support when you're following your dream is something wonderful. So if you're a parent or you're going to be a parent, keep that in mind and think about your own childhood. Did your parents support your dream? Did they look at you and say, okay, yeah, you can do this? Or did they try to be a realist and say, you're crazy, that only one in a million can make it? Well, no matter what, maybe I am that one in a million. I mean, after all, I'm sitting here right now talking to you and having the confidence to talk to you on a microphone because I won a pizza off a radio station to become a disc jockey, which we've all heard that story. But what are the chances of that? Honestly, sometimes life throws something at us and we could never imagine that we'd be where we are. So, on that note, I'd like to thank Malachi for being on the podcast. And I'd like to thank Fast Susie for the intro and outro music. I also like to thank Rich Zai from Third Year Audio Productions for doing the music. And of course, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for tuning in, whether it be evening, noon, morning, whenever you're listening. We really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, well, you know where to find me at Dauna, Dauna, at better2podcast.com. So on that note, I hope you have a wonderful day, guys, and take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.